These days, she loved being called attack. She said she's no longer Ima. She's a grandmother. She's attacked. All of us. So she called me. She said, my son, I want to come to your office. She knew my wife earlier through one of her close daughters called Ruth, who works in Parliament. I was studying with my wife. And she said, I understand you have been assigned ACP-EU. I said, yes. Do you know you can't manage those people? Who told you to remove me from the list? No, I just joined the office, I don't know. She said, so add me on the list, I become a member right now. I don't need you to designate me from anywhere, but if you succeed, I'm a member because I'm permanent on that. And immediately I said, Mama, please, you're more than a member. You're permanent. Whenever I'm moving on international migrations, we are hand honorable Okupa. And then when we went for our first meeting, she said, please keep quiet, remain seated. You're head of delegation, but you have an elder here. So you have to behave. And I was like, Mama, I'm behaving. Because I grew up with a grandmother. And the way she could do it, someone genuinely protecting you jealously. She said, don't speak until I introduce you. Most of you have seen a video introducing me to the ACPE. That was Mama. I saw many people appreciating some views we expressed, me, Honorable Pio, and all that. It was because of the guidance we got from ATAC. Stage flight on international stages, in international forums. You have many people who will attend, just, they sign the attendance list. But when you have Mama, you have to speak. She said, I don't want you to bring members who will go and wait for you to speak. Each one should be assigned a topic. And each member we have in group was assigned a topic, and they've been performing very well. This February, we shall be in Angola. We are going to miss her so much as a community. European Parliament, African Parliament, Caribbean and Pacific, all of us, we are going to miss her. In Parliament, I want to bring once again condolences from the Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, and I want to thank her for standing by the family. All this happened when I was on official duty. She called me. She said, I'm going to take full charge, you don't need to return. Please finish the duties I assigned you. Until you return, you join us. But I want to thank her, I want to thank the commissioners of Parliament, Honorable Foyo-chan, Honorable Serwani, Honorable Prosi, but Honorable Foyo-chan was chairing most of the meetings. The staff of Parliament, my brother, the government chief, whip, you've done it. The leader of opposition for support. We all came together in this. But above all, Your Excellency, the Vice President, I want to thank His Excellency, the President, for giving a special attention to our friend, for coming to Parliament duty, but also for supporting us in each and every way to make this successful. We thank her, we thank him, and please register our appreciation to him. Now, I know most of you members of Parliament are going to also demand when you die. I want to state burial. Attack Andy Tolmel. Attack Andy Tolmel. Not only from her submissions, but from her conduct, from mentoring. Because you see, when we die, we don't know what our people demand. Please, the electorate. This is for attack. Not every one of us can get a state burial. She earned it on make, she worked for it over years. So I don't want to hear, when we go back, but you did so much on the burial of so and so. This one of ours, you've done little. Please, not everyone is attacked. I was there, and I'm sure the VP is going to convey the message again. Attack was reading this. The speaker again spoke to the president about it when he came to parliament, and he said after all this, he's going to meet MPs from Lago and we'll see how best this issue is settled. In parliament, we are ready to support how Akidua Stadium constructed. Now, attack was prepared for any time. Of course, she used terrors. I've done it all. The problem is that for us, we are not prepared to lose her. I don't think Parliament were prepared. I don't think the family was prepared. She's been mentoring many of us. Honorable colleagues, I implore you, with technology, we are able to continue learning from her. Go on YouTube, get videos of her, and you see how she submitted on very quickly. Because me, I know how this has helped me. There is a situation I was managing, and I remember the Right Honorable Jacob Barami had faced the same situation. I had to dig in the answer on YouTube. How did he handle it? If you have a tricky presentation you want to make, and you know that attack used to do it better, just go on YouTube, learn from her. Learn from her. We shall continue pushing for her legacy. We shall continue trying to learn from her, even when she is not here with us physically. But above all, I want to thank Mzee for giving her permission, for allowing her to be and do what she loves most. I know very many, including my friends, who say if a woman, I have one who told me, have you ever seen a shoulder growing higher than the head? How can you allow a woman, to be known more than you? That your family is going to fail. Mzee Ramek, you set a very good example for us there. We have many young people who do not want their women to even have a single coin in their pocket, because the woman will not be controllable. You see a remote to be controllable. What's wrong? I have told people in my constituency, in this parish model, I found some cases where they were saying the head of the household must be a man. I said no. The head of the household does not depend on the biological organs you have. It depends on your contribution to the family. If a woman is looking after you, if a woman is feeding you, paying school fees, she's the head of the household. So why do we fear? Why do we fear women to grow? Why do you fear your women to grow? Mzee Ramek allowed his wife to grow, but he remained the head of the household. Because there are things he kept giving to her. And what women mainly need is love. Why should you? And then, that's when you find, when you die with your whole family as a man. Because you didn't prepare your wife to take over. You didn't prepare your wife to be independent, look after children. So men, because I've been hearing a lesson, I've been watching on social media and following the news, saying, women run from Imat. She was a very strong politician, but she could go home and become a wife. Also men run from Ramek. Yes. Let's run from Ramek. Let's also know that even us being MPs, being ministers, does not take away our duty of being home at home as husbands and loving. Critical issues that touch our values and all that in the EU Parliament. Mama was a voice of the global south. Was a voice for Africa. Was a voice for our country. Professor Kamal, my sister Gladys here, Honorable Chut has said, you take some of the members of parliament abroad, paid for by a taxpayer, and they start abusing their country. In my country, they beat people. In my country, they do ABC. Please. You can disagree with your government, but never disagree with your country. Wherever you are, be an ambassador of your country. Because you can easily make an allegation about your country, but clean it up, even when you take over power, it will be very difficult. So I want to thank you, Mama, for being a very good ambassador of Uganda, for not taking local issues onto the global stage, for knowing where you stop. The moment you cross your border, you leave the local issues in Uganda, for not addressing press conferences in America, disparaging your country, attacking it, painting it as if when people go there, they die. You know, I want to thank you, Mama. But for coming back here and making us account. You demand accountability in Uganda. But when you are abroad, you say Uganda is our country, you look at it in a whole picture, not in partisan basis. Thank you. I wish you all the
honorable ministers, all distinguished guests in your capacities, all family members, relatives, and the people who are friends who are, and alive to this country, to this home, and all visitors, you are most welcome to join us at this ceremony of celebrating the send-off of our mother, grandmother, and my wife. As a family, we are sure that she has gone with peace, happiness, and all the glory to join our Father in heaven and celebrating with them. You are very welcome, and let's rejoice together in this send-off, and I hope we'll feel the Spirit of God working in us and guiding us. Thank you very much. And then you said generally about our observation in what you did as a leader in this country. But first I must thank you very much, all my heart, all my fondness to her for welcoming you here to wish her I don't know what complaint how we parted when she left me on the floor of Lago Hospital. Destined to be flown to India. Unfortunately, she came back in a casket. And we are saying farewell to her when she's lying peacefully in the casket. And I think she's more peaceful than ever. But one thing that I know is that she's fulfilled her agenda, which God had commissioned her. Between her and me, I would get frightened sometimes. She would not talk on the politics. She would deviate off and talk something more spiritual than politics. But all in all, she reinforced every time to me that she was here to exercise her politics in carrying out the agenda which she feels God has commissioned her to do. And I think she did it. Professor Ogwal, Bishop, has more or less fully covered the entire zone she did. And we are very grateful for that. And we'll keep praying, much as she left behind us, the encouragement to keep on with her in prayer. Every month, the first 7 days are devoted to a Zoom collection of prayer for the whole family. We didn't know she was creating this purposely to keep what her spirit was talking to her about. She has set up altars as it was declared by the bishop here at home, in Lea, in Bugulobi, even at the farm where we are trying to initiate some farm work. And our eyes are open free, and will not let her down as a mother, as my distinguished wife, and undisputably loving, caring, and understanding. One day I asked her why she called everybody daughters, all the young girls, most of the women, honorable members who are women in parliament are daughters. And many young men, even those nearly aging with her, they have either sons or brothers. She has everybody who is related to her in one way or the other. It's fantastic. And it's actually in a very sincere way. I thought she was joking, talking jokingly, but it was a serious note of relationships was right to be taken every time and time. Or the agenda that she was to serve on, this year she was more conspicuous in that she paid school fees. Each child she paid for a mattress, central items she must go with back to school, and the best performance, the first 2 children at any secondary or primary school were all paid fees for. When I asked her how much money she has, she said God will give. And the fees were paid. So, without boring you, I think she has done a lot more to leave a child behind. And the spirit of service to this loving part of Africa, as we stand in it, as we live in it, to continue. And this will register where the mission God had given her to disperse in Uganda. May God bless you all for having come to join in this ceremony, for which we are most grateful that His Excellency the President has kindly and very ceremoniously accorded her. And I think this is a big encouragement to us as a family. We will continue to live a strong life and fully committed to whatever aspects she wanted the family to reflect and to carry forward. And I think what she left with the children would be a big lesson, a big education. So, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished Chief Justice, distinguished guests from Kenya, Right Honorable Speaker, and ministers, members of Parliament, may we wish you God's blessing in your services and in the honor you've given to us to come in numbers like this. We owe you a lot, and we God bless you abundantly. Thank you.
course, my mother was a very strong Christian, and she began by acknowledging our Lord. So I greet you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, as the firstborn child of Cecilia Ogwal and our dear departed mother, Cecilia Ogwal. We are here today to say goodbye to a great soul who didn't just live her life, she led by example. She taught us all, at least members of the family like myself, leadership from a very early age. I'm the oldest and female, so I often had to look after my younger brothers. So from a very early age, my mom taught me leadership. And more than that, she taught me how to discipline them. And if they were naughty, she punished me too, because I probably hadn't managed them very well. So from a very early age, I learned leadership, management from mom in our home, and after my education, into my career in finance sector. So here I am today, the person that I am today, because of the teaching of my mother, and because we share the same vision for this country, for Lao, for Doholo, and even for here. Everything that, all the projects that Mom was working on, we supported. And even though Mom is not with us right now, she would know that she taught us well enough to continue on the work that she had began. One of the projects has already been mentioned, the Akidwa Stadium. We would be very supportive of that, and hope that this will become a reality. Similarly, because of the historical background of what happened in Doholo when the station was began in 1899, Mom very much hoped for a living museum over there. And this is a project that we as a family will continue to support in her district. The same as the bursary for students that did well, not only in her constituencies, but other constituencies within Nam. This is a project that we continue as well. So even though we're saying goodbye to Mama today, her legacy lives on in her children who support the work that she began, and her work that hopefully will only go stronger despite her absence. But she will be well missed. We love her and always will. So goodbye, Mama. We know you're in heaven now. Until we meet again, God bless you.
The Uganda Cancer Institute, precisely on the 8th of December, but I received information about her illness through a phone call with the Honorable Minister. And to cut a long story short, a submission was made to us with a diagnosis that she had cancer of the colon. That is cancer of the large gut. But when we met her, I first met her and had a discussion just to find out how she would want us to handle the issue. But the first thing I told her was that we needed to confirm this diagnosis, and that means we should do additional tests, which actually she agreed to. We did that with the samples that were submitted to us, and actually our finding was different. Our finding was that this cancer was arising from the pancreas. And after that, we had a discussion with her together with members of the family, and we were just trying to find out from them how best we can actually handle the situation. The reason was simple, because cancer of the pancreas, rare as it may be, is very difficult to manage. And that meant that the capacity that we have needed to be supplemented from elsewhere. And actually to that, we agreed that we are going to handle her together with our colleagues from outside the country for just
this honor you've given her since we learned of her demise, because she was a genuine person. She was a lady of strong conviction. If she believed in something, she pursued it. If she discovered what she believed in was not right, she did not fear to abandon that position and take what she did not believe in. I think it is even a misnomer to call Cecilia Ogwal a politician, because she was not. Cecilia was a stateswoman. She never indulged in petty things, petty politicking, seeking to gain advantage and due advantage, seeking cheap popularity. That was not her. She spoke her mind. We don't know that. When she believed in something, she pursued it. She had an unwavering willpower, indomitable. Many people in public offices, many people in political leadership are made of straw. And Cecilia was made of steel. I said to never indulge in petty things. She loved her country. And you say the things that attest to this. She loved her country unreservedly. She was in the opposition, but she never considered herself in the opposition. She considered herself to be in a group that had a different opinion from the group in government. That is how she looked at the opposition. Meaning she was never nasty when she expressed what we call opposition views. She was never nasty. And the Lord God was good to her. He gave her a commanding voice. She was the one speaking here. Even without this technology, you will hear her up there. And she put it to good use. She was certainly likable, a very likable person. She loved everyone. When she learned that my mother and her came from the same land, she never called me by name, not to refer to me. Rather called me my son or my child. And indeed, sometime last year, when she learned from building a church in my village to honor the memory of my mother, he said, I'm going to give you 50 bucks to send it. On the 20th of December, this past December, she went to her bank herself, Centenary Bank, and wrote a check. The money value of 50 bucks to send it. I sent it to the committee that is responsible for building the church. Unfortunately, when we commissioned the church, I will only recognize her contribution
every day we make Uganda a better place than yesterday. I think that's what story to do. That formed the basis of us conducting ourselves in public affairs. That to me is an evidence. For us who are still alive, for our sisters who are in positions of responsibility, elective or not, the challenge my mother has given you is an enormous one, it's a towering. Who will say that challenge and start to be humble? I will not speak briefly, Your Excellency, more.
7. Amor un lucho. Amor que de pecó. Gumarach pito. Imatwa atakwa me amaro. Akwayo banga me keto tipo mere ika bedo me kuch. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of Uganda, Omimi Mat Cecilia Ogwal, Ochwalo Amot Bod Wunduchu, Enora Kede Kwena Mere Akayo Umere and Afwan Bodu. Give me a letter for you, Reverend Bishop. The Bishop who said the prayers here today is my brother. Bishop Ogwal is my brother. So the President sent you a message together with the members of the bereaved family, members from the family of Mzee Lamek Ogwal, and all of us, the owners. So I'm going to read that message. The message is not very long, and that means that we are about to come to the conclusion of our ceremony. But I'd like to make my personal appreciation to Imat Cecilia Ogwal for having been a mother to all of us in Parliament and also in Cabinet without discrimination. And I would like to thank her for always taking it upon herself to look out for who needs counsel, who needs support, who needs to be talked to, and she will always extend that service to that person. Voluntarism, spirit of voluntarism. Many attributes of Imat Cecilia Ogwal have been mentioned, but I want to add that one, the spirit of voluntarism, to do the correct thing or do the right thing correctly at the right time. She had it. When His Excellency the President formed the government which is now serving, and I happen to have been identified as the Vice President. She was among the first women to give me a phone call to congratulate me. But before that, when I was a backbench member of Parliament, she would always call me aside to ask me to always raise my voice when I'm speaking. She would always tell me that I speak very objectively, but she always wanted me to raise my voice. I think she wanted me to have a one voice like us. And I promised her that I will always keep raising my voice whenever I'm speaking. But one thing which amazed me when I was a Minister of Education, she told me that everyone under your leadership must be your son or your daughter. So I tried right Reverend one day in a meeting with professors. I called the professors my sons, and indeed, as she had told me to keep raising the voice, I even raised the voice and said, "You are all my sons." And one of the sons of Imad, Cecilia, when he was speaking there, was trying to describe to us how professors look like. So I was sitting amidst those people who one of the sons described, and then declaring that their mother and they are my sons. Many of them have gray hair and beards, as you know. At that time I was relatively young, but I said I must pursue this attribute of considering everyone my son, not just by action but by speaking. I remember in that meeting there was Professor Kayanja from Bara University, Professor Ogwal from Lira University, Professor Kamuka, Professor Sebufu, Professor Kelly, who always supporting the women of Uganda and also the region. When we were in Baralegi, I saw that things circulating in social media. I was also in that meeting. She told His Excellency the President that she is no longer complaining about the placement of women in government. And she told His Excellency the President that working very closely with women and considering women the way he has done has made her quiet. She has very few things now to talk. She also said that the corona but also in Baralegi. So coming here to celebrate the life of Mat Cecilia Ogwal will give all of us very deep memories in different ways, because she has interacted to all of us personally in many ways. I want to thank Mzee Lamek, because she always talked about her husband, and her family. She was a family person. I want to thank Mat Cecilia Ogwal for setting that example. Being in politics, but loving the family and caring the family and being part of the family through and through. Akiwa Stadium was a pledge made by His Excellency the President himself, recognizing the fact that Akiwa was the first Ugandan to get a gold medal in the Olympic Games in 1974. So I'd like to assure the people of Lamu that government will construct Akiwa Stadium. I would like you to look into programs of government which have expeditiously been implemented here in Lamu, including a very pertinent program which the people of Lamu were very impatient about, of making Lira University an independent university. His Excellency the President expeditiously handled it, and now there is harmony with the people and government on that project. I recall when I was in the Ministry of Leaders who spoke about the children of Parliament, and all this will be related to His Excellency the President. The resolutions
which were made in the regional council and also in parliament, should be implemented expeditiously. It will be also the desire of government to ensure that they are implemented expeditiously, subject to availability of resources. But we can work in a phased way to ensure that we achieve. But I don't thank the Chief Justice because he has explored the other aspect of wealth creation in homes. I would like just to emphasize that let's pay attention to that point. It was with great sadness that I received the news of the passing on of the late Honorable Cecilia Ogwal, the woman member of Parliament for the local district. On behalf of government, on behalf of the NRM party, and on my own behalf, I extend sincere condolences to the bereaved family, the Parliament of Uganda, the people of Lamu, and the entire nation. My prayers and thoughts are with the family at this trying moment. May the Almighty God grant you the courage and fortitude to go through this moment of loss and sorrow. Death has robbed us, the family. Death has robbed the family of a pillar, and indeed the entire nation of a very hardworking citizen, politician, and diplomat. The late Honorable Cecilia Ogwal will be remembered for her great contribution towards national development. She was an advocate for women and the girl child. Through her determination and discipline, she managed to challenge traditional injustices and prejudices against women. She will be remembered as an icon of women empowerment and emancipation. During her tenure as a woman member of Parliament, she has served on various committees of government establishments. She was a member of the Parliamentary Commission. She was also part of the team that drafted the Constitution of Uganda, founder member of Housing Finance Bank, chairperson of Uganda Development Bank, and many others. She was a woman of many accomplishments. Parliament has indeed lost a vocal, outspoken member and role model who will be greatly missed. Her democratic principles were cutting across despite subscribing to the opposition party. Her opinion meant good for all Ugandans. The NRM party opened space for all women, and we have been at the forefront advocating and enacting policies that enable women to thrive. I am glad that Mama Cecilia used this opportunity to serve this country well. The NRM has proved to all and sundry that women are capable of making a significant contribution to national development and stability. The NRM government will continue to stand as a vanguard of justice, peace, security, democracy, and reconciliation. The ideals of anti-sectarianism, unity, liberation, and transformation shall always guide our mission for a prosperous Uganda. Our nation has been privileged to associate and work with such resourceful persons of her caliber and vision. She has left a rich legacy of an honest, selfless, hardworking leader, a Pan-Africanist, and an advocate. While we mourn the death of Honorable Cecilia Ogwal, we Lamu and the entire nation. May the soul of the late Honorable Cecilia Ogwal rest in eternal peace.
Sasa watu wamoja nyuma up. Sasa heshima mbele tu. Sasa tawanyika.